Let's talk Tanya for the 23rd of Tishrei, Simchas Torah. In yesterday's Tanya, the Alter Rebbe addressed the problem of people coming to shul, and before davening and after davening, they're just speaking randomly, idle chatter, and how this disrespects the Shekhinah that's present over there because of the fact that whenever there's a minyan, the Shekhinah is present. And as we explained yesterday, the primary problem is between Minchah and Maariv, because then you have what's called dead time. You have around 20 to 40 minutes, and it's very easy for people to just get lost in trivial conversations. So the Alter Rebbe says, here's what I want to happen in the Chassidic shuls. Between Minchah and Maariv, I want everyone to study and to study together. And the Alter Rebbe tells us exactly what he wants them to study. He wants them to study Ein Yaakov. Ein Yaakov is a set of books wherein you have collected over there all the non-halachic sections of the Talmud, the stories of the Talmud, the moral teachings of the Talmud. And the Alter Rebbe says, I want you to study that between Minchah and Maariv. The Alter Rebbe gives three reasons. Number one, he says, most of the secrets of the Torah are hidden within the Ein Yaakov, within the Aggadah of the Talmud. Number two, the Arizal tells us that studying the Aggadah causes the atonement of our sins. And number three, practically speaking, when we learn these stories, we learn these teachings, it teaches us how to live life in a just and wise way. In addition to studying Ein Yaakov, the Alter Rebbe says, also I want that every day you should study Shulchan Aruch, the Code of Jewish Law, but specifically Eirach Chaim. Eirach Chaim is that section of Shulchan Aruch which is devoted to the laws, the halachas of everyday life, the laws that every single Jewish person has to know. There's certain sections of the Shulchan Aruch which are more complex. Those are for rabbis who have to know how to answer questions that arise, or for very specific situations, such as all the laws of how to conduct a marriage or a divorce. The Alter Rebbe says, I'm not talking about that. Eirach Chaim, the practical laws that every single Jewish person has to know. So that's what should be studied every day between Minchah and Maariv. Shabbos comes along, the Alter Rebbe says, I want you to switch, and on Shabbos, I want you to learn the laws of Shabbos. The laws of Shabbos are very intricate, they're very complex, and ignorance in the area of the laws of Shabbos very easily can lead a person to violate the Shabbos, simply not knowing that they're doing something which they're not allowed to do, whether it might be biblically prohibited. And definitely there's so many different laws that are of rabbinic nature, and if a person isn't familiar with them, very easy to unwittingly transgress the Shabbos. The Alter Rebbe concludes and says, I want everyone learning together. Remember, we began this chapter talking about Asara Sheyeshan V'Eiskin B'Torah, the value of 10 Yidden, of a minyan, learning Torah together. I want everyone to join in this learning. I don't want people to separate and go and learn off by themselves. You can imagine there's a big Torah scholar who says, I don't want to learn the Ein Yaakov. I want to learn something which is more complex, more deep. The Alter Rebbe says, this is a time for community learning. Everyone should learn together. No one should leave the group. And the Alter Rebbe concludes by giving a special blessing for those who follow this program and join this study between Minchah and Maariv every single day. With this, we've concluded this letter. Tomorrow we start chapter 24 of Igeres HaKodesh, also a letter written to the Chassidic shuls, and the topic will be talking during davening.